All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's virtual conference brought to you by Our Hometown. I am your host, Matt Larson, and I'm the president and CEO of Our Hometown. For today's conference, we'll be rethinking paywalls, specifically for paid print newspapers. And today I have on the call with me as a panelist from our publisher support team, Terry. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Matt. It was awesome.
How you doing today?
Long time coming.
Right. So you're calling in from Rochester, New York, upstate New York, near the headquarters of Our Hometown. What's the high look like for you today in terms of the temperature?
It's been beautiful. Actually, for August, it's like 72, 73, 74, and humidity's been fairly low too, so.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I'm curious what people are experiencing across the country. Here in Utah, it's another high 90s day, and it has been all week long. I feel like some people are getting heat waves. So as people come in, if you could locate the questions area of the GoToMeeting box, just drop a quick hello, maybe, give us your name, the paper that you're with, and the projected high for today in terms of temperature. We'll see who wins. I don't know. I've heard in the news it sounds like it's like a nationwide heat wave, but maybe it's just my neck of the woods. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hey, Vera. Chris, welcome. All right, Chris calling in from Texas. Good to hear from you, Chris. We haven't talked in a long time. So let's see who we got jumping in as attendees. Zane also calling in from Utah. Welcome, Zane. Thanks for joining us today. Meg Norris from Long Island. How you doing? Good to see you. Excellent. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Hi, Meg. 81 degrees. Great. Okay, yeah. So everyone's feeling the heat. Okay, so let's get into it. Let me just start off by thanking you all so much for taking the time to join us today for this live conference, okay? Because every time I say this, it's really all about the engagement and the feedback from the participants on the call. Because, I don't like to pre-record these and then just put them up as a webinar. I think that's kind of the old school way of doing it. I'm all about the interaction. So, hey, Kim from The Reporter, welcome. Thank you so much for jumping on. Good to see you again from Delhi, New York. And so, really, the best conferences come from the ones that have the most participation. So please feel free to drop your questions, comments in that area. We're also going to have a bunch of polls throughout. So I'm really interested to get your feedback on that. Because this is kind of an information gathering exercise too for me. That's kind of what we do at Our Hometown. We're always just trying to learn from publishers and then recycle the information. So that's where this presentation came from today. This is actually leading up to another presentation that we're going to be doing the exact same topic, although it's going to be a different presentation when we do it for the NNA virtual conference, the National Newspaper Association. They're one of the first organizations to launch a virtual conference this year in our industry. So I'm really proud to be a part of this. They've asked us to do 5 different flash sessions. And so one of them is going to be on rethinking paywalls. And that's going to be October 2nd, 3:15. So you can sign up if you are interested in attending. There's going to be dozens of sessions, industry experts talking on all different things, and just incredibly convenient because you just dial in with a Zoom call. You're not going to have to travel anywhere or take time off to attend the conference this year. So it's just a great opportunity. You can sign up at nna.org/convention. It's $50 to attend, and then you can see all the talks. But we're going to actually do one of the talks today, completely free. So for the first webinar poll, I want to throw this out. As a marketing guy, I'm always interested. How did you hear about this virtual conference? Okay, we basically push this out on primarily these 3 channels: Facebook, YouTube, and email. Now, let me see if I can trigger the poll that I set up here. Okay, here we go. Launch poll. This should take over your screen. The quick poll. This is a new function I'm testing out. Oh, wow, this is so cool. I'm seeing the results in real time. So it looks like 67% saw us through email. 71%. Awesome. I'm just looking to see if anyone put their answers in the questions, because originally I was planning on just having you type your answers, but then I discovered this function. So that's great. Great feedback. Thank you so much. It looks like the majority heard through email. Okay. And we'll do more polls like that so that I can, keep understanding my audience and what you guys are looking for. Now, just quick check, Terry, are we good on the audio, visual? Any issues there that you're seeing right now?
Oh, looks good. No delays or anything. Is that
Awesome.
the coffee cup you have?
What?
Is that the only coffee cup you have?
I've got about a dozen like that. That's why you always see that. Yep. Okay. Well, it looks like most of our attendees are here, so let's dive into it. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to discuss different paywall models that we see at our customers' sites. We work with hundreds of newspapers. We host them all on WordPress, and they all have different paywall models. So I'm going to share with you the common ones, really pretty much every version we're going to go over today. We'll talk about pricing strategy and the idea behind auto renewal, and why it's kind of a no-brainer these days, and how you could set that up on your site. And then also marketing subscriptions, some different tactics for how we can get the word out on the website. Okay, so we'll just break that down. No one thing in this presentation is going to be rocket science. It's just about putting it all together into a cohesive strategy and actually executing on this stuff. So for our second poll, do you have a paywall on your website today? Very simple, yes or no. So okay, hold on. Let me see if I can trigger the next poll. Launch poll. Okay, great. Let's do it. So locate the quick poll on your screen. So this will tell us who's here to optimize their current paywall and who needs to figure out something. Okay, so yes, 60% say yes, 40% no. Great. Okay, so paywall of any kind, even if it's just on an e-edition, we see that a lot. But as we'll talk about, you really want to lock down all the content on the website, including the HTML, especially the HTML, because that's really the most convenient to read. So it actually looks like it wound up at 50-50 there. Thank you for that feedback. Okay, so now paywalls for paid print newspapers. These are the different models that we see. The hard paywall, that's your default model. That's the way I think of it. That's like your ground level. And then everything else is just a modification of this. So this restricts all content to paid customers only. Very straightforward. We can take a look at this example from Leland County today, Leon County. And basically, if I click on any article on the homepage, I'm going to hit the paywall. Okay, and one thing I kind of like to point out on this one is we've got, a very short teaser on the homepage, and those can all be set on each widget, how long the teaser is, and then you can have a separate teaser length internally. So we can give them a little bit more teaser as they click in more to the article and get closer to that subscribe button. This is what we're driving everyone towards. And we'll talk about that more in the marketing portion. But okay, so that's your hard paywall. Very straightforward, really not much to that one. And that's really, the model that we definitely recommend people at least consider as a paid print newspaper. But then we can tweak it from there and make it a soft paywall in a number of ways. And basically, a soft paywall is a mix of paid and free access content. So it's just a question of what you're giving away for free. And so with the specific categories option, we can set an entire category for free. And then you just have that rule set in place so that it is always going to apply to any article assigned to that category. You don't ever have to log in and make these decisions as you do with some of the other options. So as you see, the tag for free access shows up at the top of the column. So that just means it applies, to everything within. Okay, so I'm going to contrast that with the selecting articles for free. Like at the Harbor Light News, we can see that within the news category, he has just this one article set free, not all of them. And so the tag free access shows up by the headline, not by the category head. Okay, so that's just how it all works in WordPress. And I'm sure everyone on the call, your CMS has these capabilities. If it doesn't, definitely give us a call and we can talk. Another option would be the current news being protected, but the archive news for free. So I think of this as like time is now determining what is free. And with the Port Aransas South Jetty, we can see that the current news is all behind a paywall by default. Okay, and so when I click on this story, I get a short teaser. And again, I like this one a lot because they've got a nice large subscribe button, colorful. Also the option to purchase a single issue, great to have right here. And then also options to log in. So this is a nice example of a teaser. But if I go back to the home page, they are actually giving away current stories for free, but that's because they're kind of mixing the models. So they're not purely giving away the archives. But if I go back in time and look at the archive stories here under story archives, and we go back a few months, we're definitely going to be in the clear. A story like this would be free, okay? Whereas if this was a brand new article, it would be behind the paywall. I like that one. It's a creative model. I think that one's an excellent option for free papers to consider, and we'll talk about that in a future virtual conference. Okay. Now, all right. So you guys can all see my screen still, right? You're not looking at the poll right now, right? Just want to make sure. You shouldn't be. So the metered paywall. Okay, that's the last. It's almost in its own category in my mind. The metered paywall. It is technically a soft paywall, but in this case, the reader chooses what's free, right? So you're not even selecting the category that's available free or the specific stories. You're opening it up. Any article on the website is, potentially free. You're leaving that choice up to the reader. And so I actually had an example here of an article. What it looks like when I come up, we have this pop-up in the bottom of the screen, and we can customize this, to say whatever you want. But essentially, it needs to, give them the countdown, tell them how many articles they have left on their meter for that month, and then it's key to give them that option to subscribe and log in right here. Always, whenever we're, presenting the reader with a paywall, we want to make it really easy for them to subscribe or log in, obviously, if they're already a member. Okay, now. And obviously, once I run out of those meter, we can set the meter at any time point actually as well. So you can set it to renew weekly. So you can give away 1 article every week, or you can give away 4 articles every month. It's very customizable like that. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Vera, for that confirmation. All right. The last one that I like to include in here, just as a footnote, really, this is not a paywall model that I would recommend for a paid print newspaper long term, but a registration wall is a great way to launch a paywall. Okay, and I'll describe what I mean in a minute, but let me just first explain the registration wall. At the Amherst Bee, this is actually a free newspaper that's launching a paywall, and they are stepping into the launch by having a free account option. So they were completely open. The website, all the articles were free. You didn't have to register anything. Now they're launching this registration wall so that you have to give your email at least to continue reading the stories. But it's a free account, so they're still not charging. The next phase is for them to just start charging for that account. So it's a great way to step into a paid model, but I wouldn't recommend just leaving the registration wall up long term. If you have a paid model for print, because then your paid subscribers in print are just going to go to the website anyway. So we need to lock it down there, but it's a good way to generate a lot of emails as you're launching a paywall, or if you've just had a website for years that never had a paywall and you're worried about how people are going to respond, this is a good way to kind of step into it and get them to adjust. Okay, let me just check in there. All right, we're good. So let me exit this and restart it so I can actually get it full screen. Okay. I need to skip through these. Okay. Another webinar poll. What kind of paywall model do you have on your website today? So this is for the 50% of people that said they do have a paywall. And let me launch the poll here. Paywall, there we go. Okay, leading soft paywall. I mean, there's a lot of options for the soft paywall, so I'm expecting that to be the leader here. But oh, it looks like 67% have a hard paywall. That's great. So really, no free content without no free content. Period. No content without a login, an active login. Okay, collecting responses. Give another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much for participating, closing that poll. Okay, we landed at about 67% hard paywall. That's interesting. So no metered paywalls out there. Okay, that's cool. I thought that was actually going to be one of the more popular ones. Okay, so now let's break this story down here. This is thejournaltrib.com. They're a great example of a very successful paywall. They did some really interesting things during COVID with donations and combining that with subscriptions. Giving subscriptions away for a period. They were very dynamic with their strategy. And so I like to talk about them. And I'm actually going to be interviewing the publisher at the NNA convention when we do that in a couple of weeks. So we'll be talking to her in more detail. But I just want to outline her model. The auto renewals, that's part of every subscription option. And I just like to bring that up. Maybe I don't have a poll set up for this, but if people want to drop in the questions area, if you have auto renewals set up or not, I'd be interested in the breakdown there. Now, Meg, sorry I missed your question. Can a metered paywall be adjusted easily to change the number of free articles? Great question. Okay, so yes, we can set it up to any time period for the meter to renew, and also any number of free articles during that time period. So yeah, that's just a setting within the widget. Yep, good question. Thank you for that. Okay, so anyone out there doing auto renewals, I'd be interested because to me, it just seems like a no-brainer. Why require them to repeatedly opt in for a subscription when you could just make it easy for them to opt out? It's not like a big process where they have to call and cancel or something. It's all things that they can do online, but they do have to take that step to opt out. To me, it just seems like you want to make that the default. Okay, and so that's what she's following here. And generally, when setting up a paywall, you want to kind of have the equivalent options that you have for print. So she's got the annual subscription for $50 a year. But then, especially because you have the auto renewing options, you can offer a lot more short time period subscriptions because they're going to auto renew, and it wouldn't make sense to offer a week-to-week or a month-to-month subscription for print, but it does for digital. Okay, it's very easy that way, and it's a great way to just get your foot in the door at a low price. Of course, it is at a premium price per issue, but it's just $2 rather than $50 a year to get in there and just get a sample of journaltrib.com. Okay, now, really I could have an entire separate session on this, and we probably will have another conference on this in the future, but just with pricing, the print subscription option for single issue sale is at $1.25. So she's got a digital to print ratio of 1.59. So I would draw the equivalent with the weekly subscription here for $1.99. But really, with the weekly subscription, you're getting a lot more than you get with a single issue sale. I mean, a lot more. You get unlimited access to the website, all the archives for an entire week. So it's a lot more information, and that's where you justify the price difference. And so I like to think a lot about, just coming up with algorithms and just methods of calculating what the pricing should be. So here's another poll for you. And I don't believe I have an interactive one for this because I couldn't do 2 answers or something. So if you could just write in the questions box what your answer would be for this. If you're willing to share, what do you charge for an annual digital subscription? And then draw a slash. What do you charge for an annual print subscription? And then you can just calculate that ratio. Hopefully you're all above 1. We definitely don't ever want to be charging less for digital than we do for print. I think a lot of people did do that early on in the paywall days, but for one, you're hurting the print product. You're potentially cannibalizing that by pulling readers over and just losing money there. And also, you're not really recognizing the extra value that the website has. Okay, great. Don't offer digital only. Okay. Let's see here, Meg. What do we got? Planning to charge the same price, whether print or digital. Okay, gotcha. All right. Kim, I'd have to look into this question. I'm not really familiar with that. Let me follow up with you on that, though. Okay, that's kind of outside my expertise with postal. Okay, so then marketing subscriptions. How do we get people to this page? This is just a screenshot from one page of the, oh, Roy, thank you. Sorry, we got one more answer. 20 for digital, 30 for print. Okay, we might want to talk about that, Roy. Sounds like you're just a little bit under the ratio that we want. Now, this is the subscription page. So we're trying to get people here however we can. There's ways that we can direct them there from the website, either from the homepage, the article teaser. We can also pull them in from their email when we're sending them that weekly newsletter. Social media is a great place to market subscriptions, and then also in the print edition. Okay, so let's dig into each of these. Homepage. How would you try to get people to that subscribe page? I mean, there's countless ways that you can do it, but I think at a minimum, you want to make sure that you pull that subscribe link out of the main navigation. For some reason, a lot of people end up putting it there by default. I know why. It's just because when they're setting up the website, they give the developers a list of menu items and they just throw it all in there. They don't think about how the eye tracks. And a page like this is perfectly designed because it's really going to guide the eye along the two logos. It'll hit the donation button, which could also be a subscribe button, and then they come down this colorful list of ads and come back around to the main image. So a button like this would be key.
Yeah, another thing that is really, really important right here is how this is viewed on mobile, because the way it shows up on mobile, this button is it's right in your reader's face, rather than being hidden in your hamburger menu or something like that. It's right there. The way this displays on mobile, you're going to have the logo first and then the subscribe button next.
Right. That is huge, Terry. Yeah, so if you're on our WordPress platform, you probably know that it flows left to right, top down. So exactly, they'll have that nice logo. I'll update this presentation to have that mobile. That's a really good point. So this will be right under the logo. Okay, great. So yeah, always think about how things translate on mobile. Okay. The article teaser, that's another place that we're marketing subscriptions, and you can say whatever you want in this teaser area, or the part under the teaser that's cutting off the article. A default message would be something like this and a link directly to that subscribe button. But again, as we saw with Port Aransas, you can do whatever you want with this and have two nice large buttons there that are colorful, really just attract the eye. And, that way we're directing people to that subscribe page at every opportunity. I would even suggest putting pricing right on this page. Get that pricing right out there up front as soon as you can. And we'll see that actually in an example from social media in a second. But let's see here. So you've got the teaser page, you've got the newsletter. This is another place that we can just kind of set it and forget it. Put a message at the top of every automated newsletter that goes out every week. And she basically says, click here to read the latest editions, but this could just as easily say, click here to subscribe, right? And that message can be changed frequently if you want, but here's the key. The product that we just developed is an automated coupon generator. So you could have the message to, hey, subscribe here, make it really easy to subscribe. That goes on everyone's newsletter. But then we can automatically target the non-subscribers with a coupon that also goes in as a banner at the top of the newsletter. So you give them 10% off for the first month, or first month for $1, and then it auto renews at the full price, whatever. Then we're really kicking it up a notch then, because we're giving them a personalized deal. Not everyone's going to see that. We don't want to be sending it to current subscribers, right? Because they've already paid the full price. So this has all been kind of worked out. Okay, so you can automate that. Social media is another great place to be just promoting your paper, just throwing up the post. If you put the URL into a Facebook post, it'll automatically format it like this and pull in the featured image. Super easy. And then you can take out the URL and then type your custom teaser message, really is what this is. So she's written a very brief teaser, but what I really like about this is that she's got the price right here. Now read your local news for just $1.99 per week with auto renewal. So she's really spinning it as which it is. It's a huge plus for the reader. It's just more convenient. So that's in every single post, as far as I can tell. And I just think it's great to get those numbers up there, establish the value in the mind of your audience of what the subscription's worth. Okay. Oh, and on the newsletter, right, Vera, it would be a banner ad for that coupon, exactly. Okay, marketing subscriptions in print. Okay, I was just thinking through this. I'm not on the print side of things, but what I've seen from a lot of publishers is you can't possibly see it on here, but including the URL in the header at a minimum is a great idea. Just so that's the first place people look. If they don't know your URL, maybe it doesn't match the paper name exactly. Let's just get it in there as a reference. But then, what I would suggest, bigger picture, is the website. It's got unlimited bandwidth and unlimited storage. So you can use it as a place to continue telling the story. So, for example, you got a ton of pictures from the homecoming game, and you can't possibly fit them all in print. In the print edition, you should say, see more photos on the website, and then upload them as a gallery. Or if the story needs to continue, it's just too long for print, you can just say, see the full story online. However you want to do it. For me, the images make a lot of sense, because those take up a lot of space in print, but they are not a lot of space in terms of storage on the website. So these are different ways that we can direct people to the website, which kind of pulls them into these first two marketing tactics. Okay, got a question here. Is Journal Trib a daily or a weekly paper? Great question. It's actually two weeklies on one website. So that's why we kind of had those two logos, the Journal and Tioga Tribune. So good question, Deborah. Thank you. Okay. Well, I think this might be the last webinar poll. So let's see what kind of participation we can get. And we do have it on the interactive one. Okay, so which of the following do you currently use to promote digital subscriptions? Homepage button, option to subscribe under the article teaser, the newsletter, social media, or print? I didn't have an option for other on this quick poll. So if you have other ideas, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the questions area. Okay, it's 50-50, homepage and print. So everyone, seems half of our audience has at least that URL in the header, which is great. I'd be interested to hear, is this anonymous? Honestly, I'm just learning how this poll feature works. love to follow up with the people on exactly how you're doing it in print. So if you want to drop something in the messages, all of the above. Deborah, killing it. Awesome. Love it. So nobody actually responded to social media. Nobody responded option to subscribe under article teaser. So that one I'm a little...
Well, I think you can only select one.
Oh, you can only select one. I set it up wrong. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Well, that explains it. Good lesson. So we'll make it multi-choice next time. So maybe some of you are doing other things, and then it just kicked you out after your first option. Okay, so any questions at this point? We're up against 30 minutes. Wow, that's exactly how long this needs to be for NNA. So we're set on that. Any questions at all that we haven't answered? Anything that we discussed that you want to learn more about? Throw them out in the questions area right now while we're all on here. And while we're waiting for those to roll in, just want to wrap it up for today. Make a couple quick announcements. Upcoming virtual conferences with our hometown. We've got Rethinking Paywalls, episode 2 for free print newspapers. That's coming up in 2 weeks, same time, right at noon Eastern at September 4th. Then reverse publishing from website to InDesign. I'm really excited about this one. Friday, September 18th. We're going to be announcing a new program with our customers for this project. I'm really excited to announce that then. And then finally, we've got the NNA convention. That's October 1st through the 3rd. Okay. So let me just check in on questions. Okay, circle back. Can you talk about digital add-ons to print subscriptions? Yes. Okay, that should probably be part of a follow-up presentation too. That's a big topic. But basically, we can set up, any type of membership or subscription type on the website, and then it would automatically create the digital account when they sign up and pay for it, and then it would send an email to whoever you have managing the print circulation. That's really the only difference. In either case, whether it's digital only or a combo, they'll be paying for the full price and they'll have instant digital access. But it's just about syncing it up with whatever system you use for circulation management. So an existing print subscriber can get digital access for free. I see. Right. So you're talking about the other way. So then if we have a list of print subscribers that we want to give the website for free, then we would import that list. And basically, we need some unique identifier for every subscriber, like the phone number is most common. And then if you import that, their emails, or at least their phone number. Do we even need their emails, Terry? Because we may not have all their emails.
Yeah, most publishers don't have emails for their print subscribers. Address and phone number being the most common. Those would be the two things.
Gotcha. Right. So just address and phone number, and then that'll be in the system, and it'll recognize them when they try to sign up. Okay, because we're going to ask for their, address and phone number. So that's how we verify it. Oh, thanks, Vera. Poll still showing. Sorry about that. Okay, so Meg, does that answer your question? And let me know if you have any follow-up on that. You can let me know here, or after. We can definitely talk. Okay. Oh yeah, Deborah. So another thing to use is their print subscriber account number, right? And I like that too, yeah, because it's printed right on the address label. Everyone knows their phone number, so that's also a good thing to have. But I don't know, it's kind of nice to just have them reference the print edition or require them to reference their print edition. Okay, cool. Thanks, Meg. All right, so back to the schedule, and just keep dropping your questions in. I'm going to circle back again before we end the call today. Hopefully, you can all see my screen now. What's that?
I did have one thing. Can you look back? I don't know if you can still see. One of the first questions you asked was how many people have some type of paywall. Do we have people on that don't have a paywall at all?
Okay, sorry, I cut out for a second there. I couldn't hear the beginning, but yeah, I think one of the polls said I don't know if we can look it up here. Does your site? Yeah, we can. Cool. So the poll said half. So about 5 people do not have a paywall.
Not have a paywall. I'd be curious to know why they're not using a paywall. One thing that we've found for publishers that have been really hesitant about implementing a paywall is that it actually validates your paper. It
Right.
gives, I think publishers kind of have that perspective of, oh, I don't want to look greedy. Well, that needs to just go away because you're not being greedy at all. When you put a
Right.
price on your print edition, you're validating your print edition. So you're doing the same thing for your website. You're validating your website. There's so much value on your website that can be monetized, really.
Yep. Wow, that's really good point, Terry. And Meg just dropped an awesome comment here, which I think a lot of people have experienced. I know a lot of our customers, actually right down in Long Island, other customers that had a competitor nearby that went free, that was like maybe even an online only. Meg, I don't know if you can tell us that was it an actual paper. Sometimes, they'll just have some competitors come in there and just start giving away advertising for free, and then when you go to talk to the advertiser, it's really tough. Sorry. So the paywall though, they're giving it away for free, so it's tough to sell anything there. So anyone else have feedback on that? Like any of the other non-paywalls, is it a technical issue? I think with Zane, you actually mentioned yesterday when we talked that it just sounds like it's not technically possible on the site that you have now. So I hear that a lot, Terry. That would be one of the main reasons that they just got set up with a site with the intention of trying to grow the audience on there so that they could monetize it through advertising. But that's the biggest thing that has changed in the last few months is just the advertising has never really been there, and now it has gone negative, right? So that's why everyone's rethinking things. So, okay, any other questions there? Drop them in. We'll probably wrap this up in a second. So then the last thing I just want to tell you a little bit about is our company, our hometown. We were founded in upstate New York in Clifton Springs in 1997. So we've been in business for over 23 years, and we only work with newspapers. We do WordPress websites, and we have a platform that we've customized only for newspapers. We really don't take business from anyone else because it's such a complex field, and the nuances of a newspaper website really require it. And so we're actually completely remote all across the U.S. So we've been unaffected by the shutdown, and we manage hundreds of weekly newspapers and a handful of dailies across North America. We're in Canada now. And so our platform is very solid, and it delivers over 8 million monthly page views a month. We actually grew that to around 12 million during April, really when everyone was compulsively checking newspaper websites. And we were able to scale to meet that demand without any performance issues. I think some of our customers actually saw double the traffic. And so if you have any interest in a new website, just want to learn about what we have to offer, just contact us. You can email me. You should all have my email from the invite for the webinar. So you can just shoot me an email there. We'll do a website audit. We can put together a whole business plan for how to monetize subscribers. We'll focus on that first. That's really always the thing that I focus on with new customers. So let's circle back to the questions here. So Deborah, let's see here. Need to start with registration wall to build up database of emails. Yes. And get the reader in the habit of going to the website. Otherwise, without a way to reach them, you don't have a good way to reach future online subscribers. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be exactly the whole focus of the next virtual conference, where we talk about free newspapers. I probably should have made it part of this one too, but they're really focused on that idea of building a database of emails, and really just trading the free access for the database straight up. And then they monetize those emails in different ways, either through a newsletter, or they can go to some type of a paid model. But yeah, I think the need to start with the registration wall is key. Okay, do you work with nonprofit news initiatives that are online only? Absolutely. Yes, we have several online only groups, and I don't know if they're all nonprofit, but I think a handful of them are. So absolutely, we're totally open to that, Chris. So yeah, follow up. Yeah, shoot me an email if you want to talk more. I wasn't sure if you were still at the other paper that we originally met at. Okay, so any other questions, comments, concerns? That's all I got for you, folks. Thank you very much for the time. This was a lot of fun. Again, we'll be doing another conference in 2 weeks, and then the reverse publishing in a month. So please check your email, and watch out for us on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe to our videos there. And let me just double check the questions. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you jumping on very much. I hope to talk to you soon. I hope we can talk about a website for you. Okay, I'll leave this open and I'll leave it on the schedule for a minute here. And if you have any questions, drop them in the box. But I think I'll jump off here and just stand by and look out for those. So thank you all very much. I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you for the time. Have a good day.